Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to join an esports team in 2021. But before we get into it, guys, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and also follow BTB Esports on Twitter. That is my new esports team. And I'm going to show you guys how you can join an esports team and what all the different roles are in an esports team. Because most people think, you know, you can only join as a content creator or a pro player. But there's so many more different roles that might fit you better than a content creator or a pro player, and you could join an esports team with that role. But yeah, guys, before we get into it, less than 70% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'm really trying to get back on this YouTube grind, and I'm getting more and more involved into esports. So I want to help each and every one of you achieve your dreams of joining an esports team. But yeah, guys, for the past year, I've been studying the esports teams. You know, I've been on esports teams, and I've been while I was on these esports teams, I was actually planning BTB. Like, I was on, you know, Aspire Unit, and while I was on Aspire Unit, I was seeing how a team operated and what they did to succeed and fail and all that stuff. And in my time doing that, I gained all this knowledge that I'm applying to my own team. So now I'm pretty much prepared, more than prepared, to start a team and start a successful team. But I just announced like last week that BTB will be launching October 9th. So I've had a lot of people ask me to join BTB. But I feel like a lot of people don't really understand like how serious this is going to be, like how big of a team this is going to be. And not only that, but a lot of people don't really understand the esports scene, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they think you can only join as a content creator or whatever. But there's so many more opportunities, guys. The first thing we're going to talk about is like, we're going to go from one position to the next. So the first position I would talk about in the esports scene is the, you know, the content creator, because that's, you know, the most popular one. If you want to be a content creator and, you know, have the credentials to join an esports team, depending on how big the team is, depending on the credentials that you have to join that team, you know, like for example, BTB, the credentials, you know, at least a few, like, you know, probably a few 100,000 on TikTok, at least, you know, a couple thousand on YouTube. I don't know. It just depends. But at least a few 100,000 on TikTok to even be mentioned into a BTB conversation. So if you only have 5 followers, you know, you're not going to have a chance. But that's not to say that you can't join another team. But if you're a content creator and you seriously want to join a team, the best thing you can do is start posting on TikTok every single day. You can't post once a week. You can't post once a month. You have to post every single day, and you can't miss the post. Because if you do, your account will die. But my best advice is to start posting on TikTok. You don't even have to have unique content. Just start posting. It doesn't matter what you post, okay? A lot of people steal content. I know it sounds bad and cringy, but a lot of people do, and that's how a lot of people become successful in the first place. Start posting on TikTok, and after that, you expand onto the other socials. For example, maybe start streaming a few hours a week, a few hours a day. Make a YouTube video once a week. You gotta post on every single social. You need to be posting consistently on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, tweeting on Twitter. Every single social media platform that you could possibly post on, you need to be posting pretty much every single day, or at least weekly. Have a consistent schedule. Because if you don't do that, teams are gonna look at you and they're gonna just run right past you to the next person in line. You have to be consistent. Consistency is the most, in my opinion, one of the most important things you could possibly have. You know, like one of the most important traits you could possibly have to join a team. Consistency is what I look at when I recruit for BTB, and that's pretty much the main premise of, you know, a content creator in the esports scene. You got to be consistent. You got to post on all socials, and you got to have quality content. You can't just be throwing up videos, you know, oh, follow me on this, follow me on that. No, you got to have actual content, okay? You know, you can take ideas from other people, but at least, you know, down the line, make your own content. But at first, if you need to, you know, get a few ideas from people, who cares? You know, get on your feet or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much content creator, okay? You know the basics. You know, just post consistently, all that stuff, okay? So on to a pro player. First of all, you have to be good at the game. You can't go up, at least to my team, and say, hey, I'm in champs, can I join? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that isn't a pro player. You know, my grandma could make champs, you know? But you seriously, if you actually want to be a pro player, you gotta have, you know, you gotta have the credentials. It's all about credentials. You can't have 500 PR and say, hey, I want to join your team. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could with that little TikTok clan, but if you want to join an esports team, you gotta have, you know, probably at least 1,000 earnings. And, you know, you gotta have consistent placements. You gotta be consistent. You can't, I don't know. You have to have credentials. It's all about credentials in the esports scene. You gotta have credentials, and you can't just go around and say, hey, I'm in champs and I placed top 500 in the cash cup. Can I join your team? You know what I'm saying? You gotta have, consistent placements, and, also if you're in school and you can't grind for whatever 8 hours a day, maybe it's not the exact time to join an esports team. Maybe focus on just trying to practice as much as you possibly can outside of school, and then once you're out of school, maybe you'll be in the position to actually join a team. Pro player, it's pretty basic. Be good at the game and don't act like you're good at the game when you're not. So content creator, post consistently on all socials, and pro player, be good at the game and don't act like you are when you're not. So on to the other positions in the esports scene. People don't really talk about these other positions, okay? Nobody talks about them, actually. The first one being a manager. Now, I've had like 100 DMs asking me, hey, can I be a manager for your team, okay? And once, literally everything in the esports scene, in my opinion, revolves around credentials. If you're a manager and you've never been on a team before, you're not going to get on a lot of teams. But you got to get your foot in the door. Maybe if you know someone who knows someone who knows someone that has a team that might give you a chance, ask them to teach you for free on how to be a manager and get some experience under your belt. And then eventually you can, move on to other teams. And a lot of people don't even know what managers do. Usually what they do is, help manage players, help them on the socials, maybe manage org offers if you're a personal manager. But if you're on an org, maybe help with sponsorships and just make sure the person is, the pro players are posting on all socials, helping out with the org, and just making sure everything's organized basically, and help run the org pretty much is what a manager does if you're on an org. But there are personal managers where you personally manage players, where you help them on socials, sponsorships, organization offers, all that stuff. But that's a whole different conversation. The next is a graphic designer. Or video designer with GFX or VFX. If you're a video designer, once again, you got to be good and don't act like good if you're not. And you got to have credentials. Maybe show your previous clients and show them, the reviews or whatever, and if you did good or whatever. But if you're a GFX or VFX, just try to get on a smaller team. Like I said, same with the manager, and just work your way up. You got to work your way up in this industry. I mean, I started on the smallest of teams, you know what I'm saying? I worked my way up to eventually getting a contract with 4OK. And I never thought I would ever be able to get a contract in the esports scene, but I did. And I was, very proud of that. But now I'm in the position to start my own team, so I'm going to do that. But yeah, so far we have the content creator, pro player, manager, and editor and designers. The rest are really just different types, more advanced roles, community management, head of relations, head of talent. That's a whole other thing. You could be a talent scout, but in my opinion, like I said, my grandma could be a talent scout if I just taught her for 30 minutes what's in the Fortnite community, you know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, a talent scout really isn't a specific position. That's more of under the management category. But overall, guys, you got to know that you can't join a team with BTB, standards and expect to join when you have, 5,000 TikTok followers, 100 Instagram followers, and 100 Twitch followers, and 100 YouTube subscribers. You know what I'm saying? You got to have those credentials, okay? You got to know what team you're grinding for, know that team's standards, and work up to those standards. And don't ask to join until you're up at those standards. You know what the standards are, at least roughly. And speaking of grinding, there's only certain teams out here that will actually give you a chance when you grind for that team, okay? I'm not gonna, BS around that. I think BTB is probably going to have a recruitment challenge, and I guarantee you, I'm 100% going to recruit an actual person from the recruitment challenge. But a lot of these teams, just act like they're gonna recruit someone, and they actually don't, you know what I'm saying? So you just gotta be aware of that. You can't just go to, a scammy team where they're not actually going to pick you up, and you just, at the end of the day, you never join them, and they just benefit off of you liking their posts and all that stuff. But if you find a good team that you could grind for, go ahead and do that. I know NorCal is always a good team to grind for. I know for a fact they do pick up there's a lot of good teams out there, but you just got to be careful for the ones who will screw you over and all that stuff. But yeah, guys, at the end of the day, credentials is everything. Consistency is everything. Knowing what you're worth and knowing your value is a lot also. Like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings here, but if you have, you know, 20,000 on TikTok and you had like one video 3 months ago that had 1 million views that got you all those followers and you're trying to join a team, like, it's probably not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to know your worth. You know what I'm saying? And like 300 YouTube subs, like, I had 300 YouTube subs in like 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not worth anything. You know what I'm saying? A couple thousand Instagram followers, not worth anything. Maybe to a certain team, but you know, like I said, it's all about working your way up. It's all about being consistent. It's all about knowing your worth, and so on and so forth. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions in the comments, or drop them in the comments. I want to make more videos about this because I'm getting more and more involved into the esports team. Obviously, I mean, I'm literally starting my own team, BTB. Go follow that. I'll go follow BTB on all socials. And just know, like, BTB standards. Before I end this video, I want to say our standards, like, roughly, just so you don't waste your time, you know, hoping that you join and you realize, you know, you probably won't, because, you know, we have high standards, you know. So like BTB, I'm assuming, like, you know, for TikTok, at least a few 100,000 followers on TikTok. If you're a YouTuber, you know, I don't know, it depends what your numbers are. So that's all, like, you know, whatever, definitely over like 5,000 probably on YouTube, at least, depending on what your numbers are. Twitch, I'm looking for partnered streamers on Twitch. And pro players, you know, it just depends. You know, like, the pro players just be good at the game and know that you're good at the game. But yeah, guys, this is where I die in the gameplay, so I'm gonna end it here. But I appreciate all the love and support, guys. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comments. I would love to answer them, and I appreciate all love and support, guys. If you, like I said, you know, ask me questions, all that stuff, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.